Before we pause for the halachot of Purim, Bezrat Hashem, which is joining us, we're going to continue for another day or so with halachot of Tefilin. So, of course, we do not wear Tefilin on Shabbat. Anything which is not usable or has no Shabbat function generally becomes muktzeh. Anything which is not used for Shabbat usually becomes prohibited to be moved on Shabbat. So, what about Tefilin? If they obviously don't serve a Shabbat function, we don't wear Tefillin on Shabbat. Do the tefillin become muktzeh and therefore forbidden to be moved? So the halacha is that lechatchila, a person should be careful, in fact, not to move tefillin because it has nothing to do with Shabbat. It is muktzeh. However, like many other categories of muktzeh, there are certain cases where we do allow muktzeh items to be moved. For example, if a person needs the space where the tefillin are situated, you're allowed to move the tefillin. Let's say, for example, you forgot to move the tefillin. You usually keep them in one spot, and you forgot to move them. You need that spot. They're on a chair, let's say by the dining room. You're allowed to move the tefillin. Additionally, a person is actually allowed to take out the tefillin. Let's say you have a Shabbat afternoon. You're studying b'chavruta, halachot of tefillin, and you're going through Shulchan Aruch, the Gemara, Mishnah Berurah. You want to take out the bayit of the tefillin and actually use it as a dugma, as an example, to see what it is that you're talking about. You're allowed to hold the tefillin on Shabbat, to learn from the tefillin itself how to understand the halacha. In additional cases, if a person is concerned for the safety of the tefillin, they're in a place where they're liable to be damaged or disrespected, a person is also allowed to move the tefillin. Perhaps one of the most common cases, although most people have a Shabbat talit, but what if your Shabbat talit is now not available, and the only talit that's available is the one that's sitting there in the same bag as your tefillin? Are you allowed to take out your talit if it means, in this case, rendering the bag that is in them into a piece of muktzeh? So, cutting to the bottom line, Chacham Ovadia says that strictly speaking, yes, a person is allowed to remove their talit from the tefillin bag if that's necessary for Shabbat. However, in order to do it in the best possible way, it's better to put a sidur or some other non-muktzeh item into the talit bag. And what you accomplish by doing that is that when I remove the talit, the bag is not just holding the tefillin, which would render the bag muktzeh, which is a problem on Shabbat, but in fact the bag is holding the tefillin, but also the sidur, or the book, which therefore makes the bag not muktzeh. So again, bottom line, if a person forgets his talit in a tefillin bag, you're allowed to remove it on Shabbat. The best way to do so is to first put in a sidur or some other sefer before you remove it. Rabbi Hananiah ben Akasha אומר, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכות את ישראל, לפיכך הרבה להם תורה מצוות שנאמר אדוני חפץ למען צדקו, יגדיל תורה ויאדיר. על ישראל. יתגדל ויתקדש ברמה, למען יברח